Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by todderbert. In front of us we have the Prunus J-06. This is an AM/FM pure analog portable radio. You can find this currently selling on Amazon USA for right around $29.99. Kind of cool for a unique radio. So check out the box. Simple white box. Simple labels. Right there says analog radio and manufacturer name of... What in the heck does that say? Say that 10 times fast. I dare you. Holy cow, that's funny. But anyway, analog radio in 2026. Yeah, it's the real thing. Holy cow. But I took everything out of the box. Let's see what we get. So the star of the show. Over here. Bring it in. There we go. Hey, you get a handle. Awesome. Okay. Pretty basic radio. I mean, that's what you see is what you get. That's how it is. What else we get in the box? We get a AC cord. It's rather on the flimsy side and is not UL listed. So use with care. I'd probably replace this if you got another appliance cord. I mean, it's pretty basic. It's got this 2-prong, the basic end you'd find on most items. Yeah, try to find one that's UL listed around the house and use that instead. This thing's just a little too... You'll know when you get one. All right, if you get one. So anyway, let's straighten that up. What else do we get? I think there's a manual running around here. Let's get that manual out. All right, so here we are. Prunus with the wonderful logo everybody loves. I love it. Okay, so analog radio, J-06. There it is. Boom. There's the name of the company that made it. Not Prunus, but that company. All right. So, yeah, it's precautions. If you want to read it. There you go. You got some specifications. Anything of note there? It takes 2 DSL batteries, which is pretty cool. All right. Again, everything is very simple. I don't know why I'm really showing this. It's just straight up, no big deal, like how to plug it in. How to put batteries in. Yeah, pretty simple. How to turn it on. Yeah. There you go. How to get better reception. It's always a good one. Read that, learn it. And then that's about it. So there you go. Boom, done. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Yeah, we're not going to be using that, so we'll set that aside. Let's talk about the radio. Okay, so dimension-wise, real quick, we're 8 1/4 inches in length. We are 5 inches in height with the handle down and 6.5 inches with the handle up. And we have front to back dimension depth of 2 1/4 inches. So not a bad radio. Looking pretty good. Kind of reminds me of like a GE Sony style side there. Kind of cool. All right. Nice. Size comparison. We'll just, I'm guessing just lay radios on top of it. I'm trying to think of what I got laying around here. I could put on there. I have a CC Pocket always. Yeah, here we go. CC Pocket in the house. Current time's 11:52 p.m. Central Daylight Time. I'm in Chicago, Illinois, USA. The month is March. The year is 2026. And yeah, I don't think it matters as much because this radio is fairly basic on tuning capability, and we'll talk about that. But there's the radio, CC Pocket. Next is Skywave. Skywave 2. There you go. There will be no frequency checking tonight unless something crazy happens. I doubt it, though. There we go. And then if we don't have those 2 radios in the house, we always have a deck of cards. Iron Man. He's the man with the master plan. He loves analog radios from Prunus Land. He's Iron Man. Who digs this all analog radio stuff in 2026, man? I don't know. I'm just saying stuff that doesn't make sense, but that's okay. It's part of my thing. Anyway, okay, deck of cards. You get the idea. It's a really hefty radio. All right. So what else do I got? Yeah, you know what else I have? Another analog radio. I can't really put them side by side. Maybe I can. I don't know. It's not going to quite work here with this. Here, let's do this off to the side. And I have this GE radio. It's pulled out for size. There's another reason why I pulled it out. It's AC, DC as well. And it's a better quality and it costs less money. Something you can find used anywhere, like a thrift store, Goodwill, eBay, you name it, you'll find it. Probably under $20, probably like a $15 radio, $5 radio. You might see it in a garage sale for a couple bucks. And it's actually a better performer. Just wanted to put it out there. But it's used, and it's probably about, 30, 40 years old. But I still like it. Anyway, I thought I'd bring that out. GE kind of reminds me of GE performance-wise, but it actually, GE outperforms this radio. That's how it goes, but we'll talk more. So let's look at features of the J-06. Again, I'm very happy that they made this attempt to an all-analog radio in 2026. Hey, they're like the 5-core people that did it back, 5 years ago. I don't know if they're still making that radio or not. I don't think so. I haven't seen it lately. But, Prunus is doing their thing. So let's look at the radio here. We got simple plastics. It's pretty basic stuff. Nothing to write home about. Durability isn't like it isn't Sony's and Toshibas and GE's. It's thin, you can tell. Going to the front here, the opening measures 3 inches, but when I got into the radio, I measured the speaker exactly, and it's 3.5-inch speaker. So rock on. I like the audio quality of the speaker, by the way. Kudos to them for that. We got Prunus J-06. We got a power LED. It turns red when the radio's on. We have our scale, which looks really tiny here. I don't know why they went so small with this radio. It could have been much nicer, but they stuck with this tiny thing. It's ridiculous. But anyway, we have an FM scale, 88 to 108, and then medium wave AM. It says 530, 1710. My radio only goes up to 1590. Some reason it does not have the expanded band. Either it's not tuned right, or this is all I'm going to get. So I didn't want to mess with it. I'm reviewing it as it stands. So there you go. If you like your AM past 1590, you might get this radio, and yours may not be past 1590 like mine, or it might. So I don't know how that is. Maybe I got a bum one. Anyway, band select switch, FM AM. Oh yeah, orange indicator. Really? I mean, you'll kind of get an idea where you're on the dial, but yeah, it's really not needed. You gotta go by ear on this radio. Down here, power, AC and battery. You'll find yourself using the batteries, and I recommend that because if you plug it in the AC, it doesn't really overheat or anything. It doesn't add any RFI, so that's kind of cool. But I told you about the cord being kind of on the weak side and not UL listed. Well, the transformer on the inside is not UL listed either. It's kind of an open design and kind of dodgy. So when I say dodgy, it hums. So when you plug it in, you can hear it actually a hum come from the speaker, and you can actually feel the vibration from the transformer. When you touch your radio, you actually feel it vibrating. So yeah, I recommend battery only. But the battery only thing is not a bad option. I'll talk about that in a second. But there you go. Analog radio. Hyped about that, I guess. So headphone jack quality. So it's both ears, which is kind of nice, but no FM stereo. I did notice very little bit of hiss on the low end, but barely audible, barely noticeable. So probably should say 0, but there's a hint of it. So for those who have to know. FM, what can you expect? Well, expect weak lows, moderate mid, strong highs. It wasn't fantastic, but it was okay. On AM, it shined. I really liked this headphone jack on AM. It was a nice low neutral tone, which was very pleasant on the ears for talk radio and even music. So I was very happy with that on the AM band. So there you go. Top of the radio, we have our handle that folds down. Nice. We have the antenna that actually is kind of a pain. It kind of snaps in there tight. You use 2 hands to pull it out. There you go. You get the idea, right? It snaps in there pretty hard. So yeah, and then it extends out to 24.5 inches. I thought that was pretty nice. I thought you get stellar FM reception, but not quite. It's an analog radio, so you have the limitations of analog. No DSP is great, but you lose a lot when you go down back to analog, unless you have some superior analog radio, like a GE Super Radio, which this is not. But anyway, it pivots 360, which is a good thing. Yeah, nice. So I like that. So we'll just kind of snap that back down in there. Show you the back real quick, and then we'll get to talking about reception, and we'll have some fun demoing the radio. So there's our AC input, if you're wondering what it looks like. Our transformer's behind here. Now I'm going to bring up a pop-up here. Okay, here's an image inside the radio from the back side. Take the 6 screws out, and this is what you get. So you can see your transformer there, on the bottom half, back half of the radio. And then you can see into the radio there, the speaker, and the PCB on the left. Now, it has a normal variable capacitor, as you can see, which is neat. And it has a little chip there. That's not a DSP. That is a radio on a chip, they call it. So all analog circuit on a chip. They've been doing that since the 80s, so if you're wondering. The board is marked 2025. There's a little LED board there for the LED, and that's marked 2015 or 2018, something like that. So there you go. Okay, let's go back. All right. So you get a little image of the radio, so that's neat. So yeah, like the 6 screws, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 in the battery compartment. It shows frequency coverage again, and our battery compartment's here. And if I get this open, on camera. Super difficult. There we go. 2 D-cell batteries. Now I tested the draw on this thing. So if you're at low volumes, which is pretty decent for low volume, you can be sitting next to it and it fills up the area pretty nicely at low volume. You can pull about 30 milliamps from the radio. So that's nice. So if you have 2 D-cell batteries like this and average capacity, say around 15,000 milliamp hour, sorry, 15,000? Yeah, 15,000. You're looking at around anywhere from, depending on the volume, 350 to 450 hours. It just depends on how low these voltage goes. Now, I did test it down to 2.5 volts with some different batteries, and it was still running. So I have a feeling it can go down, probably down to 2.3, 2.2, maybe even 2.0. It depends on the voltage before it quits. So the analog radios can run a lot longer. Hopefully the circuit does the same thing. So, for an emergency radio, 2 D-cell batteries running for more than 200 hours is a good thing to have. So, getting more than 10 days on a pair of batteries running continuously, yeah, very nice. So I have this in here without snapping my fingers in there. Okay, bottom of the radio. We got little feet there, so it does stand up nicely. I do like that. It is nice. So it feels like a good radio all around as far as that goes. Yeah, you've got a little design there on top. Sweet. Okay, so let's talk about FM reception, daytime AM reception, and we'll go to cruising the bands, do a demo, and all that fun stuff. So, okay, FM reception, what can you expect? Well, I do a 5-tier method, fair, okay, good, very good, excellent. This scored a solid okay to good, which is very typical on an analog radio. Found 47 stations, which I was surprised because it doesn't perform that great. Selectivity is the weak point of this radio. I have a strong station of 105, and it was obliterating everything past it. I couldn't pick up anything, maybe a few stations during the day, and it was just tough. So, yeah, selectivity, I give it just an okay, a 2-star rating. So I give it actually a less than the sensitivity score. It just happens. I mean, this local station is very local, so it just wiped it out. And it's part of this analog circuit, probably. They could do better. It just, I don't know, maybe they don't have much choice on analog chips nowadays. So we're going to get what we get if we want analog. So, and daytime AM reception, well, it's good for locals mainly. I did pick up some semis, but again, it gets obliterated by strong locals and no selectivity really. And you get to the top of the band, stops at 1590, which was kind of a letdown, but is what it is. Still a great performer on local stations. If it's all you want it for is your local stations, you're going to love this radio. It sounds great and performs well. And yeah, so let's go ahead and turn it on. We'll do an audio demo with Radio Todderbert, and then we'll go cruising the band, see what we can pick up. So we'll go ahead and turn this on. Side here. Oh yeah, did I mention that? Yeah, headphone jack. I never mentioned these wheels. Okay, tuning wheel. So you got tuning wheel up there. It's rather nice, larger. And down here we have volume on off, which is reversed. I hate it when they're reversed like that. Down is up. Come on. Anyway, you get the idea. But down should be turning it off, but turns it up. Okay, we got the transmitter on. Hearing a hum. Okay, let's hit it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Okay, cool. I just killed it because I got to get on the AM band. I look at the time and Coast to Coast is coming on. So there's your audio demo. And yeah, I showed you the Sony MP3 player and the C Crane FM Transmitter 3. So nice. All right, let's rock it here. So go to the bottom of the AM band. Here's your band select, FM AM. Did I mention it? I think I mentioned that. Let's get all excited about the analog stuff. I was forgetting like the little details. Deets. All right, let's turn it up.
Here are your hosts, Brian and Jamie.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It is 6 minutes after 6 now. You are listening to the Civic Media Network. What is going to be another beautiful day. My name is Jamie Martin.
I guess it's a rebroadcast. It's not 6 minutes after 6. It's 12:05, 12:06. Okay.
And don't forget, after 7 o'clock, we will have
the views by Democrats.
But that's an ongoing process. They're meeting today. But we must fund TSA now.
The other side is ruthless. And with respect, my party needs to be more.
WIND Chicago.
We don't win back the House of Representatives. We
Okay, I'm not sure if that's 630 or if it's WSM. I think that could be CFCO, Chatham, Ontario. That's nice.
Pace to play about 60, 65.
That might be WSM.
If he's able to stay healthy and play the rest of the way. But the bottom line is, like, yeah, I understand. Just talk away.
Okay, that's WSM, 650, Nashville, Tennessee, 434 miles south. Okay.
I don't think we've ever seen an organization as proactive as the Spurs in terms of being cognizant of playing him no more than 30 minutes.
670 The Score, WCR, Chicago, home of the Cubs. Local.
I expect the postseason time, when the playoffs roll around, I expect his minutes to skyrocket. In the X's and O's,
click on Main Street, advantage2.com.
X's and O's.
So it jumps right to 720 WGN Chicago. So there's your selectivity. Not there. But, you know, the nice thing is, it's smooth tuning between your strong stations, no problem.
Show me, tiger, how to kiss you. By their clothes, their age, the way they speak, would you notice the 16-year-old boy who got his first job? Not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters. Or who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can...
Could be 740, Zoomer Radio.
Girl who signs up at every
I don't know.
activity, not to make friends, except to get something new. Or a retiree who felt ill and had to choose between getting medicine or...
About the children impacted by the war so far.
2,100 children have been...
I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.
Okay, this is 780 WBBM News Radio. I was wondering where 780 was. So yeah, it's 780, 720. They're just killing anything in between. Man, that's rough.
Do with their ears. Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4.
So I'll show you something. This is just for kicks, right? Okay, so let me show you this GE radio I just have hanging out. So let's see, it's got a volume on off control as well. Hey, it goes the right way. Up. Okay, let's go down here. What are we on? What band? I'm like, why is there so much music? I think we're on the FM band with this thing. There's the band switch. Okay. Yeah, let's just see what this does real quick, and then we'll go back to the other radio.
Area 2. She was born about 1949 Niagara Falls, and she died just a couple of years ago in Scottsdale.
So 720.
As far as I know, Nino might still be alive, but...
740. 750. 760.
We can't continue to do this. What are we going to do here? The women, we can still. All right, let's.
First in the United States about big tech. So this is the first one. This is groundbreaking.
770 WABC.
To put protections
New York, New York.
to hold big tech accountable.
Weather together. News Radio 105.9 WBBM.
Portions of the following have been pre-recorded.
Discussing the news of.
Okay, and that's 780. So look at it. It just shows you how good the older radios are, run compared to new. So I had to do that because, yeah, now you know. The more you know, or half the battle and all that fun stuff, yeah, you get it. All right, let's go back to this guy. All right, so you can see why I'm not moving and I'm fast on purpose, just the way it's tuning.
$25 billion, that's the forecast for 2026.
That's a lot of transponder. Straight. It's important to reopen that and drop these.
I think that's 840 WHAS.
The bottom line here, George, you can't trust anything Iranian thing, and
I'm hearing a little bit of an echo. I think we're picking up Denver, Colorado, 850 this way because I heard it like echoing. So yeah, we're picking up because since they're running into each other, yeah, we're getting an echo.
The Iranians, they want Trump.
Yes.
Rams.
Their stupidity is why they're victims.
Right. And there was something else that one of them said recently.
So it jumped right to 890. This is WLS Chicago local.
Why is it that they'll come out and, there's one thing that the polarized broadcast that
TNA style, right, that we get into.
Followed very closely by Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, followed very closely. I can't even separate the three of them by Victor Wembanyama.
I think this is 1,000. It just jumps that fast.
It's a regular season award.
WMVP Chicago.
I assume you're saying that if either Boston...
that want to make a deal and stop this war. So I think
Set a building on fire.
in guard.
Your area alone for
Administration officers, CSA. That's
getting paid. He's just telling. In that case, you're telling a story. When you're creating this
report in Houston, Texas,
and that's the whole point. Is you're trying to again to play into what the left has been doing. Build more and more.
I'm thinking 1540 KXEL. I'm thinking that's what it is because it's going to stop here in a second.
Politics. I'm wondering if they've reached.
That's where it stops. It only gets 1610. So that was the AM band. Okay, well, FM band. If you guys are FM aficionados, you want to know what the FM's like? Well, let's find out. I'm going to just hook up a little wire because, I can't really extend this out on my bench, which would do pretty good because I actually was pretty impressed by the pulling power, just not impressed with the selectivity. Yeah, it's bad. Man, was it bad. Strong stations just swamp it. Alright, so just a little Kato T1 wire, 22-foot wire. I tend to put it in the video description if you're wondering where to get them. It's basic. Alright, so let's go ahead. Make sure we got a little slack on there. Okay. Let's tune the FM band. Here we can hear. Hey, that's 8775. It's hard to pick up on some DSP radios. They just don't tune in that 50 kilohertz range. Well, this is analog, so it picks it up. Nice.
The Muslims who are just kind of seem concerned.
Hey, love. Hey, this is Colton Dixon, and this is my new song, The Love I Have for You.
Nations, so from that you would take it as non-US allies or non-Israeli allies. We've already seen some deals being struck quite low-key.
Reminder that no matter what you're facing, take it aside of us and it will.
We're just driving down the road one day and they just started playing.
si lo quieres intentar. Busca un change the world. Tell you all to stay. You had always been right with B96. You better show me positive, encouraging.
Back here on the Mo and Stickman Show.
We used to listen to the radio.
It's basically data entry. There's been this trend of people going,
All I really need is a little something may take the blame for us to crawling.
Amputated, lost his mobility, lost his independence.
or wherever you get your podcasts.
Lewis Bake Shop, more than just
MVP. And hopefully, God willing, as I get to move throughout my sports media career, hopefully I'm
Si su vida en el amor ha sido desdichada, ha sido tormentosa, si su vida en el amor ha sido lleno de
Su precio y su ingreso familiar anual es de $35,000.
Ella fue la que me trajo. Ella fue la que lo trajo aquí con nosotros. Cuénteme, hermano, entonces, ¿cuáles eran sus problemas?
Okay. So on FM there, hey, it was better in the evenings. I've kind of figured it might be. They tuned down the power a little bit, I think, on that local station, so 105. Yeah, it just destroyed the whole top end during the day. But tonight I heard the 107.9, which was Hispanic music or Hispanic speaker at the end there, and then this station you're hearing now is 105. Just as a way of carrying all the way up the top of the band, but just trying to show you real quick. Okay, well that's it for the J-06. Wonderful. Okay, let's do final thoughts. Let's go ahead and unplug this here. I'm sitting here. So yeah, final thoughts. I'm really happy that the Prunus is doing this. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect, right? So, yeah, it's not perfect, but it's not bad. It's not horrible. Like I said, it's great for a local machine. But if you're out to pick up more stations, you might just do better buying a used GE off of eBay or something like that. There are a dime a dozen there. But with that said, you might want to support a company producing a new analog radio in 2026, which I think is rather cool. It just they need a more name brand component, I'm guessing, or better filters or something to get that selectivity up a little bit, just up ever so slightly. I mean, come on. It needs to happen, but as you heard on the FM band, it was locking on those signals as we were stepping up there. It has a strong AFC circuit going on there, just latching, almost sounded like a DSP there for a second, but it's not. It's just the way it latches on. If you take your time, you will pick up faint stations if you position the antenna and work it. Takes a little bit of work. You'll pick them up, but most of the time they do get obliterated by stronger stations. So anyway, okay, so we'll go with likes, dislikes, and final opinion. We'll go real quick. Likes, smooth analog tuning. Can't beat it. Built-in handle. Well, that's number 2, right? 2D cell operation with good run times. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with just running 2D cells and getting at least a couple hundred hours or more. Theoretically, you could get up to 300 to 400. So that's amazing. Power LED indicator. Very cool. It's nice to know if the radio's on or not. Room filling audio. This speaker does sound good. As you heard on FM, it really is a good sounding speaker. I like it. I like the AM audio on the headphone jack, and it has a decent price of around $21.99 for a brand new 2026 all analog radio being produced. So you have to look at it like that too. It is a new radio. It's just not the best, but it's new. It shouldn't need like things, but I wish it had better coverage on the AM band. Because even this one here, this only goes up to 1610 as well, but this goes up to 1620 or 1630. A lot of these radios go past 1600. So, man. But anyway, here nor there. Dislikes, well, selectivity, that's a big one, and the dodgy AC circuit. So I can't recommend using the radio on the AC just because of that noodle-like wire. It's not UL listed. The transformer looks dodgy on the inside. It hums, and it has a vibration to the radio. It doesn't overheat, but those couple things, I can't recommend using it with AC. I recommend battery only. Not a bad thing. 2D cells will run a long time, like I mentioned. You also get those adapters where they go AA to D cells. You could use those as well in here and get tons of runtime as well, because it's such a low consumption radio when you have the volume down. You start cranking that volume, it starts using up the power. Like if you go to middle volume, which is pretty loud, it runs about 50 to 60 milliamps. So it's going to start drawing those batteries down quicker. So, you get less than half the time. So just kind of keep that in mind. I hate this limited AM band where it's 1590. I think I mentioned that. So overall, it's a new analog radio, and it's great. I'm really happy for it, and I'm giving it a maybe recommendation because of those things I mentioned, and selectivity being the main drawback of this radio, and of course the medium wave band being truncated at 1590. Those are the big things. That's why I get a maybe. I'm very happy that they're making one. Just needs a little polishing or a lot of polishing, and then it'll be perfect. So Prunus, keep up the good work. Loving this radio. Loving the analog style. Just we need to up the selectivity. We need to up the game a little bit. We need to make that medium wave better. Man, and then you're going to have yourself a cool radio. You're going to have one that everybody's going to want. So there you go. So yeah, maybe a recommendation from Todderbert. So yeah, $21.99, definitely maybe. Anything higher, probably a no-go. Seriously, if it's $25, $29, just pass it. For $20, it might be worth a shot, just for fun's sake, right? So there you go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a like if you did. 2, if you like Prunus radios, want to see more, subscribe to the bell icon. They release a radio every week, it seems like, or every day. I got some new ones coming out. And of course, 3, comment down below. What do you think about this J-06? All analog? Is this all hype? Is this, what? You let me know. I mean, really, I think they're one of the few companies making one, or the only company right now making one. So you let me know if you're on board the Prunus analog bandwagon, just because you want to support them and see if they make a better product in the future on the analog side of things. And I bet you're going to want shortwave. I'm waiting for that to be mentioned. I want dual conversion shortwave on there. Yeah, I would too. That'd be cool. Maybe eventually. And it won't say text in here. You know what I'm saying, right? But let me know. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next awesome video.